All right, this problem asks us to solve the equation -8 plus cosine of 2 theta is equal to -10 cosine squared of theta. We're solving for theta between 0 and 2 pi. All right, so the first thing that we're going to notice here is that this is cosine of 2 theta and not just cosine of theta, whereas this is cosine squared of theta. So we want to use our double angle identity to get rid of this 2 theta here. Now with cosine, we have a few options for our double angle identities. We want to use the one that has just cosine so that our entire equation will still just be cosine. So let's replace this cosine of 2 theta with 2 cosine squared theta minus 1. And that's going to be equal to -10 cosine squared theta. All right, now we've got cosine squared. We don't have a cosine that isn't squared. So we can solve this just by getting the cosine squareds on one side and the constants on the other side. So let's add 10 cosine squared theta to both sides. That's going to give us -8 plus 12 cosine squared theta minus 1 equals 0. And then we've got -8 minus 1. That's going to be -9. So let's add 9 to both sides. And we'll get 12 cosine squared theta is equal to 9. Now we can divide both sides by 12. And we get cosine squared theta is equal to 9/12, which is the same as 3/4. Now we can take the square root of both sides. We get cosine theta is equal to plus or minus the square root of 3 divided by the square root of 4, which is 2. All right, now we're ready to look on our unit circle and find what angle theta, at what angle theta is cosine of that angle equal to either positive square root of 3 over 2 or negative square root of 3 over 2. So cosine is positive square root of 3 over 2 at pi over 6 and at 11 pi over 6. And it's negative square root of 3 over 2 at 5 pi over 6 and at 7 pi over 6. So the 4 angles that are going to work here are pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, and 11 pi over 6. Those are our 4 solutions between 0 and 2 pi.